Hey gamers, what's up? Muzz here with another video for you here from L1 Games. Before I get started, I did want to just say, if you can, throw a like on this video if you enjoy it, and do subscribe if you haven't already. Share my videos with your friends if you want to, and by all means feel free to follow me on Twitter at L1 Games. And with all that out of the way, let's jump right into the video. So when I was looking for questions for my questions and answers video that I did last week, I found a question that I thought warranted its own video. And it's something that I think is worth sitting down and talking about at length, so I thought I'd dedicate a video to it on its own. Now this question was asked by 8-Bit Politics, and I thought this was a really good question that he asked, so I thought I would share it with you guys and I would give an in-depth answer to it. And the question is, how has running a business changed you as a person? That's such a deep question, really, and you don't think about it. When you go to a store and you see the people working there or whatever, you don't think about, like, if you're seeing a store owner or someone who's really responsible for a lot of what's going on there, what their everyday life is like, what they're going through, the difficulties involved in keeping their business running. It's hard to own a small business, and I thought this was a question that really had a lot of angles to answer from. First off, I look at it as a person and as a businessman, and I have to distinguish the line between the personal and the professional. It's very important that I do that in my everyday life. You have to prioritize what's important, and sometimes that means being at work when you need to, and sometimes that means not being at work when you need to, because I do have a personal life and I do want to make that life as good as I can. There was a time when I was working 75 hours a week here at the store and doing nothing else. And that's the kind of thing you want to avoid, you know? You want to have a life outside of work. So distinguishing that line has always been really, really important for me. And learning to make that differentiation between those is something that I think owning a store has taught me that otherwise I never would have learned. Now, as an employee of the store, I've learned a lot about retail in the terms of patience and my ability to deal with conflict. I'm not good at conflict. I'm a person who kind of really gets into conflict, and I like yelling matches, and I like setting people straight when they're rude to me or when they're not nice to me. I've been like that for a long time now. It's like someone comes in and they're rude to me, or they say something to me and then they walk out and they feel like they got away with something, and I stew all day about it. I don't like it. And that's something I've really had to learn to deal with as a retailer and as a person working behind the counter when people come in. I've literally had people come in and say, oh, what do you know? You just work at a video game store. Or, you know, you're an adult who works at a video game store. You know, you're a loser. You know, that sort of thing. I mean, that's not verbatim what they say, but I'm paraphrasing. But that's the kind of thing I've had to put up with on a lot of different counts. And it used to be I would shut people down. I'd get all up in their grill, and you just can't do that. So I've learned over the past few years to really pull it back and be calm in situations where I would otherwise get really loud. Although it doesn't always work. I've had people come in and threaten me and stuff, and there is a point at which you have to raise your voice and you have to kick people out. So that's something I've had to learn to do, deal with conflict. And again, that's all just because owning the business, you know, if I was an employee it would be one thing, but as a business owner, I have to learn to deal with conflict properly and apply kindness when necessary, be patient when necessary, and then in the most extreme cases, kick people out or whatever. And that all falls back on me as the business owner. So I've learned that part of it, but also on a side note, I've learned that when I go into another business and I'm dealing with the people who work there, I treat them with a lot more kindness than I may have before if I didn't do this for a living myself, because I know what it's like to be in that position, especially if I'm speaking with a store owner or something. And, you know, right down to just your standard customer service representative standing at the counter trying to help me out. I always make it a point to be nice to them because I know the return policy isn't their fault, or I know the store policies aren't their policies. And if I have a problem, I try to be a lot more kind with it, because in the end, you really do better when you talk to people kindly. And that's another thing that I've really learned over the years. Now, other things that have changed in light of being a business owner are collecting and gaming. And that, of course, is specific to the kind of store I own and what I do for a living. But I would say probably anyone who does what they love for a living learns to deal with what I'm dealing with. And I think the biggest thing for me is, first of all, I've had to learn that just because I own everything here doesn't mean that I should just take whatever I want and do whatever I want and pay myself whatever I want, you know, all those things. And I know that falls into the businessman category a little bit, but I have to leave something for the store, if I'm putting it simply. I can't take every single thing that comes to the door that I want, and I can't pay myself twice as much as I should because, you know, I own the business, and why not? I have to think of the business first. And if I want the business to succeed, I have to remember that there are things that have to be done here and things that have to go on the shelf and money that has to be reinvested. So that's part of it. That falls into the being a gamer and a collector at the same time as being a businessman and trying to make my business succeed. But then going into what I've learned as a gamer, I've really learned a little bit of modesty when it comes to gaming and gaming history and what I know about video games and consoles and everything. You know, there was a time I felt like I knew everything, and I've realized over the years that I don't. I meet people who teach me new stuff every day, and I've come to really appreciate that and like it, and it's brought me to understand and become a little more modest about what I do and what it is to really learn and to understand the industry as a whole. There's so much out there, and video games have a long and intricate history that I learn about every day, and there's still so much I don't know. So had I not become a business owner, I probably wouldn't have learned that about myself, that I can be modest, that I can say I don't know this about, you know, these different things, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. I would like to learn, in fact. So if someone comes in the door and we're talking about something and they have something to teach me, I open my ears and I listen to them, and I've become a better gamer, I think, because of it, a better collector also because I'm increasing my knowledge. I look into more games than I ever looked into in my past. I try out games that maybe are genres that I don't enjoy, but I give it a shot because I know a good game from a bad game, even if it's a genre I don't enjoy. And I study more than I ever studied. So that's the part of me who has changed a lot in light of being a business owner that maybe wouldn't have changed as dramatically, at least, as it has. So yeah, and that's about it. So I just wanted to do that, have a little conversation about that question and answer it, talk about the different facets as a person, a businessman, a collector, a gamer, all the different things that make up who I am, then thrust into this environment, doing what I do and trying to make it work. So that's it for now. Like I said in the beginning of this video, if you do like this video, hit that like button, follow me, hit that bell icon so you get updates on future videos, and follow me on Twitter at L1Games. I'm going to get out of here. I have some work to do, and I will catch you all soon. Thanks for watching. And a quick shout out to 8-Bit Politics. Hey man, it's been a long time, a couple of years at least. Thanks a lot for watching my video. I'm glad you're still here, you're still watching and participating. That's awesome. Thanks for the question. It really was a good one, so I thought it deserved its own video. So good job, man. Thanks. And I will catch you later.